Lucifer and Alastor developed a bit of a rivalry over the role of father figure to Charlie last week. Who do we all think would be the better dad of the two?
I would have to say Lucifer, because I know his heart is in the right place. Alastor, I don't know for sure. Okay, but now I'm taking it back, because sometimes having your heart in the right place, that's not enough. Sometimes you're a fucking failure. So
it's tough because Lucifer is absent for the most part, and Alastor's always there. But now he's here. So I have to say, I think Lucifer. I also just like something about the rubber duckies really makes my heart just go out to him. I just feel like he wants love so much from his daughter that I feel like when she opens up the door a crack, he will come, as he did, busting through. And that's, that's a sign of a good dad.
Take that, depression.
Take that, depression. It is my favorite rivalry that nobody saw coming. It's like, ooh, a dad. You don't see a dad rivalry that often, do you?
It was really fun to do that because, I was trying to think. So my answer is also Lucifer, because I don't know how authentically fatherly Alastor is. Like, I think when it came to that episode, it was more like Alastor clearly has, a natural rivalry to Lucifer because he's such a powerful being, and it's like it's a threat, right? And so I feel like it was like, how do I get under this guy's skin? And the most immediate thing is that he really wants a relationship with his daughter. And so Alastor was like, oh, I know exactly what's going to bother him. So I think that's where that was born from. And I think it's really funny that he's just like, yeah, I'm your dad now, out of nowhere.
Would Amir or Jeremy be a better father? Who's to say? It's getting personal.
Well, we'll never find out with one of them, so we know that much. TBD on Jeremy.
I will say Amir has taken care of all of our travel booking for an upcoming thing we have to go to, and that is iconic dad behavior.
Next question is, so fans of the show have been incredibly supportive and enthusiastic, as you guys have, about the series, from cosplays, writing fan fiction, making fan art. Since both of you are new to the Helliverse, what's been your favorite experience with the fandom so far?
Ooh.
I don't even know how you. I can't even say like one thing, right? Like, someone made me an oh dear mug, and I love it so much. Maybe I'll grab it. And then I think that just my weird ass relationship with fans on Twitter is just hilarious, about how they troll me and I troll them, and it's just constant.
You are the master troller. I don't know if we can swear on this, but you have like an iconic hashtag now, Amir. Have you seen this? You don't have to be blank to be fab. And it's...
Oh, that's a hashtag now?
It's a hashtag. It's a hashtag.
Okay, so what happened was
explain.
The hashtag. So someone said, how is, because Alastor is known sort of canonically as being asexual and aromantic, ace. That hasn't come up in the show, obviously, but it's just sort of the conversation is that. And someone said, how can he be asexual when he does so many cute little gay poses? And I said, you don't have to fuck to be fab. And some of our ace fans have taken that and ran with it. Someone made a T-shirt, and it is now a hashtag. And all I can say is, like, just don't superimpose "you don't have to fuck to be fab" with my like cringy high school yearbook photo, because then it tells a completely different story of like, you don't have to fuck to be fab.
I'm finding it. I'm going to your house. I'm going through the yearbooks. I'm finding that photo. I'm doing a favor to the entire fandom.
Don't be surprised if you see like 5 posts doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
You said don't
That's
do it.
The thing about the fans is I go,
They're
please
the
no one
best.
create this, and then immediately 10 people create
Oh yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I love is like, we'll put out a little idea into the universe, sort of either on our social channels, any of those things. And the fans take it and run with it. And I do feel like we recorded these episodes 2 years ago now. And it kind of is cool because it feels like every time I interact with a fan, be it online or in person, I just go like, oh, you're the reason the story keeps going. Like, obviously us getting to do things like this is really fun, but the reason the story keeps going as we wait for more episodes and more seasons is because of them and because of the way that they like engage with it and engage with fan theories and cosplay and drawings and like claymation stuff. It's just amazing. And that's very cool because I think that it just makes me feel like our entire Helliverse lives on even when we're not getting to record story about it in the booth.
I just find myself wondering, like, are fans of other shows this fucking creative and like clever and fucking, let's say it, weird at times? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's so many, every part of the show, they've remixed it in so many fun and weird ways. That's why a lot of people are like, I don't get it. Your show just came out and it's really popular. How is that? And I'm like, because these folks have fucking lived with it and like been in it for years and making their own versions of it. And I don't know, it's just cool.
It's the best. Thank you.
Thank you all. Yeah, seriously, you guys are dedicated. It obviously was really intimidating on my end because, I was writing the show, as a fan of these characters, as like knowing where their story goes and where it was meant to go. And, but there is a lot of, like pressure and everything because the wait was so long. So I'm very proud of what we created. But there was a lot of like, I don't know, does it live up to it? Like, oh my God. Yeah. And so I'm very glad that it seems like everyone's enjoying it and that it did. And I feel like even, going forward, it's going to be just as exciting. So thank you guys for waiting and thank you guys for enjoying.
Yes.
Oh yeah, there it is. Oh my God.
Oh, you told me, Amir, about one of my favorite things is that apparently people clapped when there was a screening when they did My Name is Charlie. They like clapped along, which I
they
clapped
along.
Yeah,
I wasn't in it. That was at the fan screening.
At the fan screening.
We didn't get to actually watch it with people, but a lot of my friends were in the fan one, and like they were telling me there was like cheering. There was like every character that came in. There was cheers. There was crying. And there was like screaming. There was like clapping along. It was I'm like, oh, I wish I could have seen that. All right, this question is, have you seen any fan art or cosplays of your character that you've enjoyed? Yeah, I feel like that's a good one. There's some good cosplays.
I will say one of my favorite cosplays I've seen so far, because I just didn't expect to see it, was a Lilith, was of my mom. That was like unreal. And especially because I just wasn't expecting it. It like the first time I saw it, I just thought, oh, that's the most incredible thing ever. That's been my fave. And they also, did you see right before we logged in today, somebody did like a clay, what's it called?
Claymation? Yeah, I saw that on the official account. I was like, that's so cool.
No, that's literally the coolest thing I've ever seen. That was unreal to me. I really want to see like a duo do Charlie sort of in her hotel, buttoned up vibe. And then Charlie when she gets angry and turns into like wild angry demon, like a side-by-side duo. Cool.
I'm so excited because obviously you haven't seen it yet, but you will soon. Charlie has a really awesome outfit in the finale episode. So I'm very excited for that. Amir, have you seen any like cool Alastor?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Like, I love the art is what gets me the most. Like the cosplay, I can't even like fathom because it takes so much like just physical work that it almost like breaks my brain at like, how do these people do this? But the art is actually what sort of sticks with me. The people who what I find really interesting is sort of mashups, you know, like when people do like Alastor in like an anime style, or Alastor in like a Disney style, like all that stuff is really wild to me, and that's what I mean when I talk about like the fans' creativity, or even just like the shit posts, right? Like when someone did Alastor with the shirt that says, "I'm not the stepdad, I'm the dad that stepped up," like so stupid, but it makes me
so
laugh.
good though.
Like, it's that stuff is, I love that stuff.
This is like somebody took, it's me and Steph from our, can you see it? We're like in the clothes we wore.
Oh yes.
But it's our characters.
Yes.
And like,
oh
like
God,
the mashups are
so
super
cute.
cool. And I love this. I think it's amazing.
Let's see. Oh, what character of the Hazbin cast would you most like to spend a weekend with?
I want to hang out with the egg boys.
That's a good one.
I want to do like a full cruise with the egg boys. Not even a cruise. It could just be like a boat ride. I just want to hang out.
Like a boat
somewhere.
Out on the lake.
What about the egg boys? Why do you like the egg boys so much?
I just love them. I also feel like they don't get a ton of individual attention. Like, so I really would want to get to know each one as an individual and spend time with them and make them feel special. And then I also just think it would be really fun to have them around at all times. Don't you feel like if you help them like let loose a little bit, some chaos would ensue? That's what I want.
I feel like they'd be a lot, honestly.
Just like having a bunch of children running around that you're responsible for.
Yeah, like a lot of really like constantly making noise.
I love them. I want to get to know each of them. It would be thrilling for me. What about you?
I'd probably go Husk. I just think like a chill weekend with Husk. You know, have some chill conversations, but also just not say anything for a while. You know what I mean? Just like sit and read, and
Husk like to me, you know those people. I mean, I'm one of these people. This is said to me often, where they're like, "Hey, you know, we don't have to talk." That's what I feel like Husk would say. Like,
we don't have to talk.
It's okay to not talk. That's like what I feel like Husk and I on a weekend together would just be that happening over and over again.
Yeah. Man, I feel like all the characters have such like intense personalities that it would be like, oh my God. I feel like the most fun, interesting would be like Pentious, because he's weird and he's awkward. And I think I'd just be asking questions the whole time, and like it would be funny. Like I think it'd just be funny to laugh at.
Why are
I feel like you guys, I feel like Pentious and the Egg Boys are good for like one night at a bar.
Yeah, like that is true. A weekend is a lot. Or maybe one, like a dinner, actually.
Yeah, I would love to go to dinner with Pentious and Charlie. That would be a riot. And then I could go the fuck home.
Oh, this one's a tricky one, but I'll ask it because it is here. Without confirming or denying, what are some of the most interesting fan theories you've seen so far from this show's storyline or finale? I can start this one. I've actually seen...
I'm afraid to put my foot in my mouth with some info.
Totally. I mean, I can answer this one if you guys want. I think for me, the most I can say safely is just a lot of people have already gotten things right. And I'm like... oh damn it, like I try to avoid like liking or leaning into anything that's too like spot on, but I have seen some, not just with the finale, because there's some people that are like, wouldn't it be cool if like this exact thing happened? And I'm like, yeah, it would be cool. Actually, maybe
it would be cool, and it will happen.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see, like, for those people to see that. But another safe one to answer, because it was one that was revealed recently, was a lot of people had the fan theory about Vaggie being an exorcist. And there was a lot of like misdirect though, because like when I first made the character and just, you know, through the development and the years of making these projects, I've kind of changed some of the stories around a lot, and people are like, which one's true? Which one? Like, did she die in the 80s? Did she do this or that? Like, nobody really knew what the real thing was. So when we started actually drop in the hints about like what it actually is in the story, some people like really clued in on them, and then some people were like, no, that can't work because of this information and that. So in a way, it's kind of nice to have so much development exist because it muddies everything that could be happening. So there's so much misinformation going on that I'm really like, you guys who theorize are superstars, because like there's so much misinformation and just old information and things about the show and the characters. You could really have to just look at what's there in the show. So you guys are doing a great job, because some of you guys are nailing things. So
is there anyone that people have gotten incredibly wrong, or that you're like, was never happened? What's the one that you just kind of saw and laughed at? I'm curious, because
there's one. There's one, I'll just to avoid anything major from Hazbin. There's one from my other series, Hell of a Boss, which is, there was one of the 7 Deadly Sin characters was going to be in the show, and everyone thought there's another character in the show named Wally Wackford, and he's exactly what you'd think with that name. And he's kind of a minor silly character, and a lot of people had the theory that he was Mammon secretly. And then we introduced Mammon recently, and it's like completely different. And we made a point to put them both in the scene together, because we're like,
you're wrong.
It's not true. I'm sorry, guys. It was a fun theory, but it's not true. So Erika, this is a question for you. So performing for the stage and voice acting are clearly very different in terms of how you build a character and convey emotion. What was the biggest challenge for you in only being able to use your voice to create the character?
A very good question. To me, it's actually, there's actually like a freedom in it of just using your voice, because you get to, I make noises in Hazbin Hotel that I could not make 8 times a week, like truly insane noises and insane choices that I'm like, that would not work on stage. It would not work repetitively, but it's fun because I just think like, let me throw in as many choices as possible. And then you and our incredible team and our animators get to choose the one that to them, like speaks to them the most visually, that they can animate the best. So that's been the main difference. And I have to say it, like, I really think voiceover acting is just getting to be your most spontaneous, weird self. And I feel like stage doesn't always allow for that, because you have, other cast members on stage with you, safety, people in the audience in front of you. Like, you can't make weird choices because the show gets set. And in this, it's kind of like, hey, we only have you for 3 hours. So can you give us every possible option and go off the walls, and then we'll choose the best one. And that doesn't happen all the time in a rehearsal theater process.
Amir, so on Twitter, you said that Alastor definitely has a tail. What kind of tail do you think he has?
And can you draw it?
And draw it, yeah.
Can you draw it? And can you show us how it would make you walk?
Oh, this is kind of fun, though. There's different ideas. So most people draw him with a little, like a little deer tail. But someone said, for this question is it a short deer tail, or is it long like an electric cord for a radio, or something completely different? What would it be? What would it be if you could choose if Alastor had a tail or not?
Look, I don't know if he has a tail. I said he definitely has a tail. And then I waited until it got 50 retweets. And then I said, or maybe he doesn't have a tail.
You are just stirring shit up, Amir.
That's like, such an Alastor thing to do.
That is so Alastor to just be like, let's see what this is gonna do, and just be like, and just wait and see.
I literally just sat and I saw the likes coming. I saw the replies. I saw people freaking the fuck out, like, yes, he's confirmed it. And I was like, let's wait. And as soon as it hit 50 retweets, I was like, nope or nope.
You love the power.
Maybe not, actually.
You love the power. It's like your mission control board. You love it.
I honestly don't know. And Vivian has not told me if he has a tail. And I can definitively say this. In the first season, he does not use any tail that he may have to influence the plot in any way.
Does
the tail is not relevant.
I don't know. You could maybe if you had like
Pentious,
a pronged.
Pentious.
if you had like a pronged tail, you could maybe bitch slap someone with it.
I feel like Pentious has used his tail at one point in the show, so I'm gonna say maybe him. That's like it.
I wouldn't call it necessarily a story point, but you
No,
know,
probably not a story point.
But if it were me,
very
I feel like
guys.
if I were an animator, which thank God I'm not, because some of you have seen my artistic work on the red carpet, I would make Alastor's tail like sort of like a devil tail, right? Like a sort of quintessential sort of long,
with the fork,
with the little at the end.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not one for artistic details, so yeah.
That's what everyone wants. They're like,
that's what everyone wants. That's funny.
Yeah, the little tiny, like, cute deer tails, what everyone wants. Whether or not it happens, I don't know. That secret's with me. It'll be answered eventually. You guys will see.
Why would we ever see?
Is there a shower? Did she just shower?
I need, Richard,
it's very
before
important,
I do this line
Laura.
for you. Am I freshly showered or not freshly showered?
Hold on, let me.
It'll change the
performance.
performance.
Question? What was the question?
The tail.
Yeah, we went very far around it, but that was great. All right, Erika, another question for you. Charlie is by far the most positive and optimistic character in the show, or just about anywhere else for that matter. How do you think she will manage to keep that positive outlook moving forward?
Will she? Stay tuned. No, literally stay tuned, because I don't know if she will, but I think that's why she has her friends at the hotel. I think everything she does is for the Hazbin Hotel inhabitants and for Vaggie, and to make her parents proud, which like we can all identify with at some point in our life. But I also think that, like, I kind of love her relationship with Angel Dust, because I feel like he really puts her in her place sometimes, where he's like, you're acting with your best intentions, but you're actually messing everything up. And she needs that. So if anything, I feel like maybe she'll hold on to her positivity because she has actual realists around her who will say, like, you know, we see what you're trying to do. It's okay to fail. It's okay to admit you don't know what's going on. And I feel like that's how she will hold on to it, because she has people to sort of catch her in those moments. But you'll have to wait and see, because I think some stuff is coming. Something's about to be handed to Charlie. I don't know if she's going to be able to have the same worldview with where we're headed. Was that a spoiler? It's not really a spoiler.
No, it's a hint.
It's a hint, awesome. Yeah. But we see it coming. Like, she's like running herself in circles trying to accomplish what she wants, and she's kind of hurting. Somebody tweeted at me, they're like, she's really positive, she kind of fucks everything up. And I was like, yes, correct.
She's trying, you know. Yeah, she's definitely a character that like has a very, very simplistic view on what redemption is, and she wants to achieve it. So her intentions are really, really there. But part of the show and part of the question is that redemption is a complicated thing, and it's something that you kind of have to discover and learn. So, you know, that's kind of part of it, is Charlie's kind of starting with the most simplistic view of it, but you know, that's part of the growth of her. Amazing.
It's the gray area that I love that the show talks about, is that like she might see things as black and white, but everybody else is aware that no, the world and the Helliverse, it's all gray. It's all gray.
Absolutely. All right, this next one for you that I think is easier. Do you think there's anything or anyone that scares or intimidates Alastor? That could be a yes or no as well.
I think there has to be. I don't think it's an interesting character if there isn't. I think he's obviously extremely powerful, extremely confident. And you know, I don't know if we'll see it in these last two, or if we'll see it in season 2 or season 8. But you know, like there is no, Vivian wouldn't create a character who is just like, I have it all together, right? No one has it all together. And so I think at a certain point we're going to find out what he's scared of, what is underneath his power, what his needs and desires fully are, because we have a good sense of it in these first 6, but I don't think we have even scratched the surface.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm really excited for people to see a little bit more of Alastor's like varying emotions. We definitely see it in episode 5. Like we see him more angry and more kind of threatened by something, but he's not really intimidated by Lucifer. And so I am looking forward to that being something that you guys maybe see maybe in the future. Up to this point in the season, Vaggie has always been there for Charlie. She's someone Charlie can rely on no matter what. But how do you think that the revelation rather of that she is an exorcist, can't even say my own shit, an exorcist angel, how do you think that's going to affect their relationship moving forward? Obviously we're going to see, but just based on how you feel.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing, we've talked about this with why I love their relationship so much, is that it's built in like pure honesty and support of one another. And I feel like the thing that matters the most to Charlie is not Vaggie's past life, past life, but her lying, like her keeping a secret. And again, who knows what would have happened? Like, I do think they love one another very dearly. And I think, like you said, Charlie believes that things are black and white, but I think she's learning to see the gray in the world. So I feel like obviously we're going to see it in the next 2 episodes, but for me, especially even rewatching this most recent episode where we find out, the thing that hit me watching was it's the hurt of just not being told something that I think she would have had the capacity to, if not embrace, understand, and hold with Vaggie, so that Vaggie wasn't having to keep that like angst and secret all to herself. That to me is the main thing. That's like such a personal, that's such a real life example of when relationships go through like a little tear in the fabric. It's not always because somebody did something that was deceptive. It's that they felt like they had to keep it from their partner. And I've like had that where I'm like, oh, you could have just told me. We would have figured it out. And I do think Vaggie and Charlie are that type of relationship. So I think that's the hardest thing for Charlie to hear in this moment. And we'll see what happens very soon. Tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. So now we've got some fan questions that were in the chat that Joseph gave to me.
Is the chat happening now? Are people?
It is. Yeah, we can't see it. By the way, I'm so sorry. We can't see it the way our setups are, or at least I can't. I can't speak for everybody, but we are, and these are questions from the chat. So, all right, let's go to them. All right. This one's for me. So, Viv, why does Alastor keep Niffty around? Describe their bond. I'm very excited because I think in the next couple episodes, we see a little bit of a peek into Alastor's relationship with Niffty. And as most people have noticed, Nifty's one of the few characters that Alastor just lets kind of just climb all over him and just kind of just do things. And he doesn't really, like, he's very... I view it as he's very fond of her. That's something that's kind of lasted through like every iteration of the characters. And I think it's just because, like, I don't know if it's just how strange she is or the fact that he kind of knows a little bit of her history or anything like that. And they just can connect on this, like, almost like everything is beneath them in a way, kind of like she doesn't care about anything and he doesn't care about anything. And he kind of, I don't know. I just see them as a really fun connect. But I do think, as far as Alastor's relationship with Niffty, I do think he's very fond of her. I think he thinks she's really fun and endearing in his own way. Ooh, oh, this is a fun one. Who's your favorite of the 3 V's so far?
Vox.
Which is your favorite V?
Vox.
Oh, you said Vox.
But again, I don't know if that's because I just have such an affinity for Christian Borle's voice in that role. Like, I just enjoy it a lot. I also, like, me personally, I have such problems with Valentino. Like, I just, like, I don't think I'll ever love Valentino in any capacity. Like, I understand the character, but I don't like him. He makes me mad. He hurts my friends. So Vox, I like Vox.
Fair.
No comment.
Why?
I know yours is definitely not Bob.
I know. Are you so mad that I said that? That's Erika answering, not Charlie.
There's judgment happening.
Amir's like, Alastor and I are one and the same. We have fused. We have fused. I know, it is crazy that I just said box though.
I love that. This is a good one for everybody. Would you describe Alastor as chaotically good or chaotically neutral or lawfully evil? I'm not as familiar with the classifications, but I would say chaotically neutral. That's my like uninformed off the bat opinion.
What was the third one?
Yeah, what was it?
Lawfully evil.
Lawfully
evil.
What would you
Boy,
say,
I'm not going to answer. Because I'm not smart enough to hide what I know. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
I know. This is actually
they know more because they've read through more that you guys will see.
It's really hard to answer without giving things away.
Yeah.
It's like a challenge.
Season 2, 2027. Stay tuned, guys.
What was the hardest scene to record in season 1 or song? I know it was a while ago. So
Sure it was. It was 2.5 years. You know what was really hard was it was such a weird time in 2021, and it's always so hard to know, like, it's just hard to know if you're nailing it. Yeah. And in the, in the booth, you're there by yourself. There's I've done shows before where there's 4 or 5 of us in the booth, and you get a real sense of chemistry and of pace. And when you're doing it by yourself, and it's a musical no less, and you're doing duets by yourself, it's hard to know that you're nailing it. Even when Vivian and Richard are like, you nailed it, right? Yeah. It's hard to feel it inside. And so you end up leaving the session going, I hope that was right. That's what was hardest for me.
I think that I truly think the hardest thing was the first 2 episodes, is because I just felt this pressure, like knowing that this was going to be one of the first things people who have waited a really long time to see. I just felt this immense pressure, and I still, you're still finding your voice and your version of it for the first session or so. And I really remember feeling exactly that, Amir. The first 2 sessions being like, what if they don't like it? What if they don't like what I'm doing? What if I lose them early on and they never care about this character because of some choices I made? So that to me was the scariest, hardest. Like, there have obviously been songs that have been hard, but you figure that out. You just learn how to, you figure out how to sing certain things in XYZ, and you have enough takes to get it. So it's the emotional fear, I think, was the hardest to work through. Because we all just want you to love it a lot.
I love all the people who are like, is Angel going to die? Is Alastor going to die? Yeah.
Who's going to die?
Who's going to die? Technically, well, I can just cause a lot of chaos right now. Someone dies, but I'm not saying who.
Wow!
I'm going to ruin it. But no, it'll be obvious.
It's big. I mean, people have to.
I'm causing chaos.
Somebody's got to die.
But I don't think, if you guys are worried it's Angel, I think you can sleep at night tonight.
Look, Sam is busy. Someone come up with an arrangement for Erika.
We will do it. We will sing it. Yeah, Sam and Andrew are very busy on season 2, so they have no time.
Which is not in production. Season 2, we don't know.
We know nothing.
We were told not to say if it's in production, guys.
All the photos you see are lies. Don't worry about it.